Problems. Problems. They reproduce faster than we can solve them. But for every problem, there is always a solution.
When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind. You were on my mind. I got trouble, I got worry, I got wounds to bind. So I went to the corner to ease my pain. Well, just to ease my pain, I got trouble, I got worry, I came home again.
Hello, how are you? Ricardo Rivera here. Our problem today is the school to prison pipeline. Have you ever noticed how similar schools and prisons are today? Did you know that our country holds the world records for the greatest number of citizens in prison? If you look carefully, you will find that young people from low income and poor neighborhoods end up committing infractions of the law. And it's natural to think that everything is because of the bad decisions they make. However, the reality is more complicated.
The policies of the politicians and the government, coupled with bad social planning, are causing many young people who could be productive members of society to end up in jail. This social phenomenon is described as the school to prison pipeline, or SPP. We could say that SPP is the disproportionate tendency of minors and young adults from disadvantaged backgrounds to be imprisoned due to increasingly severe school and municipal policies. Basically, government decisions and public policies are causing massive imprisonment of marginalized and impoverished young people. And the questions arises: what is the process that takes young people from school to jail? And what measures can we take to counteract this problem? The process starts in the school, where children with few economic resources from unstable homes are exposed to violent neighborhoods, where the lack of resources and professional attention generates behavioral problems in some of them. Misbehavior ends in disciplinary suspensions and punishments that later led them to commit major infractions. The last stage in the SPP process is prison. Young people are exposed to a penitentiary system that does not offer any special service to reintegrate offenders into society. In this state, the student becomes a criminal and learns new rules to survive. The destructive cycle begins again with the return of ex-convict family members to the neighborhoods, where new generations are again exposed to unfavorable conditions that prevent them from obtaining an education that helps them to break the cycle of poverty and marginalization. In a perfect world, we should all have the same opportunities to get ahead. However, that possibility is far from being a reality in the real world. Inequity and segregation make a big difference in the lives of many young students who do not find necessary support to break the stigma of poverty that in many cases has always affected their families. The consequences of not solving the problem can be serious. If we don't knock out now, we could lose ground on the progress we have made towards equity and justice. How to solve the problem? As always, the solutions are not magical and require great effort. What can school districts do to solve the problem? They can increase economic resources in the school with a high percentage of students at risk. They can improve professional attention capacity of coaches and therapists. They can reduce the number of students per classroom. Also, hire teachers and administrative personnel that reflect the identity of the students. They can limit police participation to serious problems. They can develop alternative disciplinary systems. They can train the teaching staff in the handling of conflicts and the development of positive behaviors. But as the change comes, what can we do as parents and students? Social participation is the best agent of change that exists. Society in general can conduct conferences, debates, workshops, and protests. We can also use social networks as powerful tools that we can help politicians and the government make the necessary change to break this destructive social phenomenon.
The outlook for young people in poor slums could not be more discouraging. We have to work together as a society to provide all the elements for the proper development of young people in poor neighborhoods. We are supposed to send our children to school so they can learn to be exemplary citizens and develop the skills and knowledge to be productive members of our society. If we treat our future citizens as criminals, we will end up obtaining criminals. We cannot expect to obtain productive and committed citizens for society when from a very young age we only treat them as potential criminals.